Warning: this program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed in disgust. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. My name's Andrew Pierce, and I fucking love whiskey. As always, I'm joined with my co-host here, Mr. Joseph Limbaugh.
I fucking love whiskey. And we have an amazing guest, Dayla.
Hi, I fucking love whiskey.
Yes.
All right, bye everyone. See you next week.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we wanted to say. Yep. Hey, hi, Geek Filter. Hi, Lieutenant Bodie Cooper. Thanks for being here. Yes, the Geek Filter created some graphics for us, which is kind of awesome, kind of great. We got a lot to talk about because we basically just met Dayla moments before the show started, so we don't know a lot, but know that Dayla has a lot of great stories about some whiskeys in Japan and stuff like that, and so we're really excited to talk to them. But let's start with the first whiskey, so we get into it, and then we can drink and taste and talk. We're going Game of Thrones here to start with. This is House Greyjoy Talisker. This is from the Isle of Skye in Scotland. Nice dark color. It's a peated whiskey. It is to 45.8% alcohol. And even though this seems like just a kind of bald-faced kind of gimmick for Game of Thrones, the whiskey, except for the Johnny Walker, the whiskey that's come out in this series has been really good. So if you see one, good price and good whiskey.
Now, Talisker, that distillery, is it on an island? Is that why they chose it for Greyjoy?
It's quite possible. I mean, it's the Isle of Skye, which is looks like Westeros. I mean, it's well, it's because I would think that Isla would be more of the sort of place for but I don't know. Right, but they picked a House Lannister for Isla for the Lagavulin. The next one we're gonna have.
Yeah. Also, I would think that like the Greyjoys would have this is the weakest whiskey. Not that any of these are weak because they're all whiskey, but this is the lowest alcohol content of all of them that we're drinking. And that for the Greyjoy, I would assume that'd be like, they'd get something like 68% or something just to really. Mm-hmm. It's got a really mild nose.
Yeah, it's really kind of quiet.
I'm barely picking anything up in there. Not in a bad way. It's just very subtle.
All it does is make me want to open my mouth and drink it. That's how subtle it is.
McCready 13 in the chat is going, Allison!
Hi. I should also name in the chat, I'm Dayla Creates, so that's also me replying back. But I can save my comments for hellos.
There we go. I see. Sorry.
Except for the Johnny Walker. People have really grabbed onto that. Johnny Walker.
It's true. The White Walker.
Johnny Walker, if you're listening, you can change our minds. Send us some whiskey that you think we should taste, and we'll taste it. And
not all Johnny Walker, just the White Walker, the Game of Thrones White Walker. That wasn't so good. I'm telling you.
But it is based on undead, winter zombies. So maybe that's
they want you to have it cold, so you can't taste it.
I'm going to taste this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's really, really quiet in the nose. I think water's going to help.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's got a bit of a bite to it for something that has only 45 proof or 45%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kick in the back of my mouth was like, hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
I guess it is like House Greyjoy. It's gonna say soft welcome and then a stiff punch in the face. Like come to the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I appreciate this.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It feels
you got the peat and you got
it does. It almost does taste like a Lafroig or like a milder version of something that would be like from an Isla. Like there is a bit of those sort of like I get a bit of the brine and a bit of the peaty flavors, but just very mildly. Yeah.
Yeah. The peat in here is definitely a softer peat. I think this is probably like from around Inverness. That peat. They're not that far.
Like the older Pete from the Adventures of Pete and Pete.
don't know. I can't.
You never watched The Adventures of Pete and Pete?
I don't get the
No.
reference. Never.
What is that?
I'm
It was
much
like
older than most people.
But this was a long time. Okay.
Long time ago.
I'm also. It was like an MTV show in the 90s.
Oh, The Adventures of.
I would not have.
It was a kids show, and it was like they would have like musicians on all the time or people from bands. And there's two brothers, Pete and Pete. It was like a weird, quirky show. It was really great. The strongest man in the world. I'm the strongest man in the world. Yeah, see, people have seen it. Wrong age group, Joseph. Yeah, clearly. Oh, Nickelodeon. That's right. It was Nickelodeon,
Okay.
not MTV. Yeah, it was kind of a kids show.
I was working in the 90s. I wasn't watching kid shows.
Oh wow. Oh, I feel like that was a bit of shade. I was working in the 90s. Hey, I was working in the 90s too. I founded a theater in Atlanta. All right, I was working as well. I might have also been pretty high back then.
Well, and totally, it's like Nick. Did you watch it on Nickelodeon? Nick at Night. Like, I was I was a student and working in the 90s too, but there was always time for the veg out shows. So
Yeah,
I'm excited. I appreciate MacReady put the YouTube link. So if we want to check out some, I'm guessing that's what we're gonna check out there.
I guess so.
So yeah, I might have to go check out. What is it called? The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete. And the theme song was great, I believe, by Polaris, I want to say.
Oh.
Like, it's funny because, like, me and the person I was living with at the time could never figure out the lyrics of it. And we made up our own lyrics, and they were not at all close. Not at all close, yeah. Yeah, Hey Sandy is the name of the theme song. Wow, I'm pulling up a lot of stuff out of my brain.
I'm super impressed, Joseph. Like,
it's just brain cells dying and throwing their information out as they go. I think
I go.
Yeah, you might need this later. Pass this on to future generations.
Yes, I'll be ready for the trivia.
Oh yeah,
go. Oh, no whammies. Stop. What is the Adventures of Pete and Pete? Oh, sorry, I just completely conflated games. R.I.P. to Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
I had to invoke him.
What a great guy. To Trebek. Yeah.
He was great, just like all Canadians.
This drinks really well. Like, I've already drank it all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
very smooth.
Trying to save it for the experiment. It's super smooth.
Yeah.
Got to have a little bit of science in it.
And I also feel like it doesn't bite and hit as hard at, obviously that's kind of what happens, but it doesn't hit as hard after that first. Like, I did enjoy that first kind of awake bite to be like, oh, okay, I'm drinking, and so
it gets calm.
Yeah. And I guess the thing that comes to mind is it feels bright in my mouth. I don't know what else to say about it, but that's kind of
it does feel
I know
bright.
what you mean. I know it feels very alive, very kind of young and vibrant. They don't put an age statement on, so it's probably got not a lot of old stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, if I was going to build this house, it would be, I think, like a kind of a modern cottage near the ocean, I think. But not like, it seems modern to me. It doesn't, usually it's like, I will have like, oh, it's an old, ruin or something. But this seems kind of bright. I don't know.
Yeah, you're helping me imagine the Greyjoy castle. And just like all that, the docks. Having flashes to Theon and his sister, whose name escapes me, who's one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones.
Someone will put it in the chat.
Friends in the chat. What is the name of the sister Greyjoy who should have been the queen? And then they try to go back to then the uncle cousin guy.
Yeah.
It's been the
pirate.
I had a whole thing with Game of Thrones. I'm sure lots of people did.
It is interesting. Like, I like this whiskey. It doesn't seem like a Greyjoy whiskey to me, but then I feel like the Greyjoys would drink rum. Like, I feel like that would be their drink.
That'd be more. Yeah.
They're pretty piratical.
Piratical.
Yeah, it is. Piratical.
Water takes that vibrancy away from it. It makes it feel like an older creature. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
it doesn't open up the nose much. Sorry. Go ahead, Dila.
It's like the uncle's whiskey that's been in the back for a little bit, right? It's just like settling a little, but like not hardcore.
Yeah.
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 So
when I think
bad,
no,
but yeah. No water.
I did not put water in it. Based on my magical ability to know whether to put water in something or not, I was like, I'm not going to put water in this. Yeah, I don't know. That's my one skill.
To decide whether or not to put the water in it?
I generally know if it's going to be good to do or not. Like after, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good track record.
I think so. I mean, we can go back and someone can run the tape and find out. Someone with a lot of time on their hands, because we got like what episode is this? Season 2, episode 15 or something. So yeah, there's like 30 hours of video of us doing this stuff too.
That sounds like a graduate thesis. Go back and explore. Can Joseph really call out whether or not to use the water?
I feel like someone's going to have a really great thesis if their thesis is based on drinking whiskey, because I'm sure they'd have to drink along. I mean,
Oh yes, if you're drinking at home, tell us what you're playing at the home game.
Yeah, what are you drinking at home?
Yeah,
I'd like to know. So Dela, you had some stories about some awesome places in Japan where you were trying whiskey. Do you want to share one now?
Sure, I'd love to share. In my previous job, I worked at a Japanese American cultural center, and as part of the work, I got to go to Tokyo and Japan a couple of times. And one of my favorite stops, a friend of a board member, Alex, he took us to a place in Tokyo called the Whisky Library. And it's an amazing venue, wall-to-wall whiskey. And
I love the name of it already.
Yeah, and because they all knew, like, we had to have like our formal, like, hey, everybody in Tokyo, come and see our org and let's have a reception. And we left the reception and we were getting ready to leave. And my friend Jean, she's like, oh, Alex wants to take us to this place and we know you like whiskey. So somebody else I was riding with, we went over and we walk into this venue. And first of all, decoration, what is it, like, setting wise, marble, it feels like marble counters, like mirrors behind the wall of whiskey. And if you go to if you Google the Whisky Library in Tokyo, you'll see. And what I just found super wonderful is like they were already like 2 rounds in. So when I sat down, it was like, okay, let's catch up. What do we do? And so we ordered a couple of different whiskeys to sample at the table. And what was remarkable to me, felt very Japanese, was they served most of our whiskeys in the glass, but then they brought us one of the bottles that we had ordered a drink from. And they were like, we're going to let you look at it. We're going to leave it here. And it became this experience where it felt like a library. It felt like I was able to like sample the whiskey, look at the bottle, kind of snuck a little bit more in the pour. But I just so appreciated the opportunity to interact with the bottle in a way that I don't get to usually in the US because of cultural norms and mores. And I had been told while we had been traveling in Japan, they're like, yeah, people are often very trustworthy here. They'll like, if somebody leaves their wallet, they'll give it back. They'll go back to where they think they left it, and it's often still there. And I had been in a train station earlier in the week, and that was true. We saw somebody's wallet just kind of hanging out at this counter, so we took it to the front. So being in this whiskey library, being able to like see all this wall-to-wall whiskey, and then it just felt I felt like I got to lean into the luxury of whiskey and I'm getting to sit with my friends in Tokyo and have this really amazing. And I wish I could remember the whiskey they left. I think I had taken a picture of it, but that phone got lost. But I do remember it had a cat, almost like a French poster I've seen. So, and it was a black cat.
I can picture that cat poster right now.
You know that poster? Yeah. So I feel like it was that kind of cat graphic. And then it was on the bottle, and the bottle they left us was about halfway full still. So we didn't pull too much more down, but before we left, I think we did 2 or 3 more rounds just so we could, and the friends who had already started. So it was this really interesting experience of being in Tokyo, feeling that there were American folks there, but also really just feeling the Tokyo clientele and like how much they enjoy whiskey and being able to just like be around that and be like, yes, I love sake. Yes, I love beer. Well, I don't really love beer, but I can do it now. But I did discover in this job that whiskey, I do enjoy it. And it was a remarkable experience. And I tell friends all the time, I'm like, when we go to Tokyo, we have to go back to the Whiskey Library.
That will definitely be my first stop. When I first go to Tokyo, I'm definitely going there. Looks like Geek Filter is drinking some Japanese whiskey, according to the chat.
Oh, that was from a previous episode when he was
Oh, yeah.
guest on with us. Yeah.
Oh, I think I
Really good
have
one.
some here, actually.
Really
I
good
do. I have some.
And I bought the second edition of that Kaio, which is peated with Isla peat instead of I think this was Inverness peat. But let's go on to our next whiskey, which will be flavored with Isla peat because it's Lagavulin, baby, 9 years old. They put an age statement on, unlike the Talisker. This is the House Lannister. Dela, can you lead us through? How do you say that?
Lannister. I spent all of in between season 6 up through 8 just randomly showing up to my partner and being like, House Lannister.
46%.
Although I'm sad where they landed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that work redeeming Jaime and then, buried under a castle.
Brienne, come on. What was that? The Greyjoy sisters named and an Ara. Sorry, we're in Lannister. Yes, Andrew.
I'm letting it go.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, spoilers.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Tipsy Asparagus. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, good luck. Like, go there.
Yeah. Also, Darth Vader is Luke's father. Let's get all the spoilers out there.
Rosebud was a slay.
What? Bruce Willis was dead the whole time? What?
Jesus comes back to life.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
It is. It is impossible.
Like,
Oh my goodness.
spoilers?
Oh, I think I lost my chat.
Oh, I mean, it's a closely held Lagavulin. It's Lagavulin, but it's almost got gasoline in the nose. Do you get our solvent? Maybe solvent, like
It is a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as bright. I feel like crisp is the word that comes to mind.
It's also just very subtle nose. Like both of these have had I feel like very subtle noses.
Mm-hmm. Do you have tips about how to clear your nasal palate? I don't know if that's the right way to name it, but like as you're going back and forth to like smell different whiskeys, like any techniques other than?
I think the same things that work for perfume, some coffee beans or something else, or just like water. Actually, a lot of people, when they're out and tasting whiskeys, will just smell their skin, just reset with themselves.
Oh, yeah. That works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what that says about how pungent I am. I guess,
Yeah, we're in isolation. We won't talk about it.
I can't smell you, Joseph, so we're good.
I mean, if you could, I would be in trouble.
There was that meme going around. It's like, I found out if I shower for myself or for other people. Turns out other people.
Yeah, and I shower for myself.
Yeah.
It's because I like taking a shower.
And being the mixed person that I am, I'm gonna say sometimes other people, sometimes me.
Oh my goodness! What? Oh, what just happened? Have you tasted this?
No, I'm about to go there now.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's like eating a piece of buttered toast. There's like a long, slow, savory journey right there. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wow, like, or a buttered croissant. Like, it's so rich.
Mm-hmm.
But is there like a little pepper in it?
What are you doing?
He's responding
People are
to
complaining the microphone's too big in my camera. I'm making it just like this is called I fucking love microphone now.
Outpost 13 says a lot of lip smacking. Yeah, man, that's the show.
So good. So good.
I really want to help you understand the way that it's interacting with my. Yeah, I get the butter, and then I feel like there was a little peppercorn twist at the end, or something a little spicy on the back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got a zing in there.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm trying to figure out if you can smell it.
Yeah, both of these, the noses, I'm like, they're not like super exciting, but the tastes are where it's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you've had Lagavulin 16, you kind of know that's the flavor profile that they put out, and they don't put out a lot of variants from that. It's just like lag 16, but this is, I don't. This is different.
Yeah.
It's definitely Lagavulin, but it's different.
I definitely feel like if we're doing the Game of Thrones analysis, that's very House Lannister, like buttery, smooth, golden, right? And then the Greyjoys are like soft, but then like punch you in the face pretty hard. Like we're rough and tumble, we'll handle whatever comes our way. So I just appreciate the contrast of these two already.
Yeah, if I was going to build a house in this, I'd say it would literally be a bakery that just makes bread. No sweets, just bread.
Yep. There might be like some honey drizzled crusted bread in there somewhere.
I don't think so. I think it's all savory bread. Only because there are other whiskeys I've had that I think will have sweet breads.
Fair enough. Sweet breads meaning like internal organs of cows?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Just checking. I don't know.
Science.
Oh, he's doing science already.
Oh, science.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say that probably the science is not gonna be good for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because you all did the first one. So I'm not sure what it's doing to the nose. I think I get a bit more, but it's also kind of got a bit of a, I don't know, like a coppery or a metallic smell.
Does that build on the solvent feeling or like the gasoline feeling?
I feel it takes away some of the richness and brings more of that burn or that peppercorn spicy out is what it does.
Yeah.
Don't think I would recommend the water. I think I liked it better before.
Yeah. I think it's perfectly good without the water.
Yeah. I almost want to have like a baguette with brie melted on it to like go into the, like, to give me a little bit to cut the brie and then to like have that little bit of spicy kick on the end.
I feel like I always want a baguette with brie melted on it. Like at any point during the day, you could say, "Do you want?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah. I see there's a question in the chat about if we know any good whiskey bars across America.
Right.
And there's a whiskey Bible.
Isn't there? There's like a kind of a whiskey library sort of place in downtown LA, I believe. Isn't there a place that has like a bunch of like, it has like shelves of just whiskey? I've never been to it, which I guess.
West, what is it called? It's named after the street. It's like West 7th or some of the chat maybe knows it. Lost Spirits. That's a distillery downtown LA. No, this is
Right.
5th and 7th and Grand. 7th and Grand maybe?
7th and Grand, then 5th and Grand, then. Wow, we have 17 people watching the show. I'm
awesome.
exaggerating my slurring. I don't. I can.
7 Grand Whiskey Bar downtown LA. That's a good one. There's one in Washington D.C. called the Jack Rose Dining Saloon, and it's an insane man like me who, for his entire life, collected a whole bunch of whiskey, and then basically had his doctor say, "You can't drink whiskey anymore; it's going to kill you." So he basically gave this Jack Rose Saloon his collection. So there's an amazing collection of bottles in there, and you can go in and drink. And he's often at the corner of the bar, surrounded by women. I don't know. He only always talks to the women, so you can't really talk to him. But he's there. He doesn't have any drink of it. He might just like smell it or something. But it's his collection that's on sale in that bar, and it's amazing. So the Jack Rose Saloon in Washington.
That's like that place at the Scotch Malt Whiskey Experience in Scotland, except for you can't drink any of those. But I'm going to see if I can find the video of me in there. Because
yes, we should share that.
We should just have it like on the.
Go to any distillery.
We should give it to Thad and you just play
pretty good stories is asking if there's distillery destinations you recommend. I would say go to any distillery. Avoid the Diageo ones maybe, but go to Isla.
Oh, why is that?
Go to Bowmore and roll around in the barley in the kiln. That's unbelievable. So if you have a Bowmore 10-year-old in 8 years from now, my butt will possibly have been in that barley.
Yeah, I would say I have a recommend for a go-to destination for a distillery. I had a chance to take a tour of the Southern Grace distilleries in North Carolina, like an hour north, I want to say, of Charlotte. And they have a whiskey that they do called Conviction. They're located in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. And I want to prep folks, like, and this is a short story I shared in the prep for us in the email, is like, so we went to this distillery, and Southern Grace actually took over a former prison, and you can actually tour the former prison. It feels very Shawshank Redemption vibes. And as somebody who is empathic and sometimes can feel spirits, when we pulled up, I had to sit in the car and like just prep myself and be like, it's going to be cool. And then when we left, I had to tell any spirits who were around, literal spirits around us, like, you can't come with us, you have to stay here. But one of the things about it is, and it's an interesting thing it made me really think a lot about prison reform and all that. But the whiskey tip that was interesting is they show you the distilling process. And then instead of rolling their barrels, what they do is they actually mix their barrels with sound. And so when we pulled up, I was telling you all this, when we pulled
Interesting.
Up, we were hearing Elvis, a little Satisfaction was playing, and then like a Metallica song came on. There was a Jay-Z song that came on later. And so it was really interesting once we got into the cask room. It was a sound system that I'm familiar with because of production work. And so I was like, they really just have like an iPod hooked up to a mixer to these speakers. And just like we feel bass in our bodies, the whiskey feels it too. And so it actually churns it. And they were saying, and I actually meant to look this up before we came on air today, but apparently the guys at Metallica think this is a dope idea, and there's plans for them to open their own distillery and have a playlist for each of their small batches, so that when you drink, I fucking love whiskey should be sponsored by them. And then when you drink it, you can all say, here's the playlist.
I love it.
So I would definitely, Conviction is a rough drink, but I enjoyed the tour, and it's actually a bottle I brought home, and I miss it, and I have to try to figure out how to get it here in LA, because there's something about alcohol across state lines and things. But
I wonder if they have it at K&L. K&L has a lot of stuff. But...
Yeah, I have not seen Conviction, because that sounds awesome. I really want to try that.
Yeah. So I would say that's my destination go-to, but I'm open to other distilleries to visit locally.
Right. So I would say there's a question in the chat saying, why avoid Diageo distilleries? And the main reason is they tend to be the most boring tours you can take. They often don't let you take pictures anywhere inside the production facility. Whereas if you go to like Bruichladdich, you can be in the still room taking pictures of the spirit safe and like touching the spirit safe, and just like they'll let you be interactive with everything that's going on in there. And Diageo is very much kind of like, you're on a tour, stop enjoying yourself. No, you're the designated driver, sir. You can't give any to-go bottles. You should not be part of this tour. Like, just awfulness. And they own like 26 distilleries, and all they want from that distillery is like, you will produce the peated content. You will produce something that's sweet. You will produce something that is, and they just like, and they won't release any of the output of those distilleries in single malts. And so, I mean, they do a little bit, but compared to what they could release and have that distillery be popular, versus they don't care. They just want Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker is what all of these distilleries get. They get blended into Johnny Walker, and that's their plan. So Diageo, that's all I say. I love their product though, still.
Hey Diageo, if you want to send us some of your whiskey, we'll,
prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
Send us some amazing stuff that you think we'll like, because our 18 now viewers will.
I love it.
They'll follow along.
They'll follow along, and they'll buy a bunch of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're whiskey influencers. We're whiskfluencers.
Ooh, I like that.
Are you gonna coin that, really?
Whiskfluencers.
We need to workshop that.
That the other show I fucking love, Whisks, we're gonna have a problem with them though. It's like a very specific cooking show. They do a lot of folding, right? Of sauces. We've got to fold it in, right?
They get a lot of peaks in their show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot. What's up to Tam Tom? DJ De La Sunshine is one of my other names. So great to see you all. There's a question. Do we have a Discord for this channel?
Yes, there is. There is an Outpost 13 Discord. Absolutely. Please go and join it. Lots of talking, and you can talk to the creators behind all the shows on this channel. I thank Outpost 13 for hosting us and giving us a little place to do this kind of nonsense with tasting these crazy whiskeys.
Outpost 13 is awesome. And next Friday, I'm starting a show called Improv RPG, and Andrew's going to be on it. where we get improvisers and they play role-playing games.
I love it.
Yeah, and if you have a Prime account, you can subscribe to this channel on Twitch for free, and the Outpost 13 folks will get some cash to keep this thing going.
Wait, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to Outpost 13 for free, and then
you get one subscription in Twitch for free with Amazon Prime, and Amazon gives us money. So please subscribe. Please follow.
Subscribe.
You know what other thing? These whiskeys were picked at random by a internet website called random.org, and I am trying to get them to sponsor us, even though it's completely unrelated. So, Thad, can you throw up the our sponsorship message from random.org just to show them what it might look like if they actually did sponsor the show? I use their random number generation, which is based on atmospheric, radiation and data. So it's a really good random number sequence to pick the whiskeys that we had on this show and on last week's show. And I just want random.org to kind of come out and say, we endorse this use.
I found the video of me at the whiskey
this.
experience. Let's see if I can play it on.
So awesome. Oh my gosh.
That's it. Yeah, and none of those, like, that's from a collection, and then they just keep collecting them. None of those have been opened. Like, none of them. Some of them, like, are undrinkable. There's like mulch at the bottom of the bottle, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cork may have gone bad and it just became flavored water.
Yeah, or there's just some weird green slime in there. Yeah, I would still taste it if I could taste the others. Yes,
I would still want to go through all of them.
Could you skim the slime off the bottom or the top? Would that?
I wonder if would the alcohol be at the top, or I don't know.
I think it'll be all mixed in. I'm trying to find my video now of being in that same spot after you inspired me with that video.
Wow! While you look for that video, I will give one other Los Angeles-based place you can go for whiskey. If you're looking to try Japanese whiskey, I would recommend Far Bar in Little Tokyo. They have a great selection of Japanese whiskey, and if you like sake, a couple doors down on First Street in Little Tokyo, they also Sake Dojo. I think they're closed right now for pandemic, but same owner teams. And yes, Far Bar is a great place to try multiple amounts of Japanese whiskey and other folks too.
I mean, that's great because I do not know a lot about Japanese whiskeys. We've only had 1-2 on the show, I think.
Yeah.
It's a known quantity to me.
We should probably
move to the next whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. Yes, timing wise. Yes. Okay. This is from K&L, which is a whiskey a wine shop in LA. They're in Hollywood, just at Sunset, just below Sunset.
Not to be confused with the Filipino dance company, K&L, Kayamanan ng Lahi.
Definitely not. Although they are a much better dance company than these folks at K&L Wines. They do not dance very well at K&L. I'm saying that. I love K&L, but you're not dancers. You should give that up. Just sell the whiskey.
Just sell the whiskey.
Sell it.
Don't try to multitask.
Anyways, so here's a Munros independent bottler that's bottling a Ledaig. This is a 20-year-old Ledaig Cask whiskey. It is a lot percent, 52.6% alcohol. It's an island bottling, which is Ledaig. Ledaig is on an island north of Isla, near Oban. Was that Isla Mall? Thank you. That's Thad, our technical director, jumping in here. We're going to ask Thad about what he thinks about the Ledaig, because I'm interested in that.
Yeah. So far, the nose this is my favorite nose of all of them. This really has a nose to it. It's got more of a what I like to call a candy shop nose. Mm-hmm. I have my own categories, but there's a bit of smokiness in it too. Oh, there's a bit of smokiness back there. Wow. Yeah.
I'm getting a note that I'm not going to share.
I feel like it's cheery. I had bright. And this is cheery to me.
This is like marshmallows cooked on a campfire, like roasted to perfection.
Yes, you mull of this whiskey. Wow, that's a weird note to get in.
Yeah, I would even say I would say with graham crackers and chocolate, I would say this is a full s'more experience right here. But a dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't wait until this pulls out the chieftain's Ledaig in the random number calculation from random.org, your source for true randomness.
Brown note.
Almost a brown note. Hello, Jagrom.
There is a base. There is quite a bit of base in here. I would agree. That's interesting. Oh, wow.
My favorite whiskey today.
This is my favorite whiskey today, too.
I'm interestingly tied a little bit with House Lannister because I like the buttery feeling of that previous, but this Ledaig is like.
If it was just on flavor, I feel like they'd be neck and neck, but having like a nice nose as well, because the Lannister had such a gentle nose. But this is, this is good.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, it just has an interesting sweet quality in the back that I don't know what it is. It's like that little light note at the end, like bee when you taste it.
It's almost like the gumball, the sugar drop at the end. You know, like you've drunk your Shirley Temple or whatever. You're gonna eat that maraschino cherry that's been soaking in it, and it's like, boop.
That's
yeah.
It's a stone fruit in the finish. Yeah.
Oh man, a Lannister always pays his butter. Right? That's what they said.
That's what they said. I think that is the quote. Yep.
Lannister doesn't care that much about the nose. Those were their house words.
It's dry. It's dry in the finish. Like it is lasting a long time, but my mouth is very dry.
I really like it's got like a very long finish. I can't believe it's not Lannister.
It makes me like it almost makes my palate I don't know how to describe it. Like I get saliva again. It's almost like it makes me thirsty for the next. It finishes, it's dry, and then my mouth automatically salivizes. Those are not real words. I went to the third whiskey.
Re-salivized.
I'm definitely salivizing as well.
Yes. And then it's like, oh.
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, there is a blast of saliva after you take a sip. That is interesting. Like it's such. I've not experienced that before. It's so visceral and new.
Let's actually check in with Thad. Thad, what are you thinking of this?
Yeah, what do you think, Thad?
So I actually really like this one a lot. Of course, it's a Ledaig, so why wouldn't I? But. Going past that, on the nose for me, the first thing I noticed was like a spearmint type sweetness and like minty quality, or like spearmint candies. And then after that, it would have been like a very light, a very, very subtle peat, and there is some not quite fresh oakiness there, but there's definitely a little bit of oakiness there. And then going down to the taste, I burnt my tongue today, so not much there. But what I did get was, so I was eating a Hot Pocket, and it's been so many years since I had a Hot Pocket. I forgot that those are literally...
hard to feel sorry for you, but okay.
You forgot that there's lava inside of them when you take them out.
Lava in there, so... Bad news bears there. But what I do pick up on, and this is probably because my tongue is burnt,
all you can taste now is Hot Pocket. Okay, sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Is watermelon for some reason, like a very hint like watermelon, like watermelon water, but
like maybe like watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, something like that. But that's, like I said, my tongue is shot. Take that with a huge grain of salt. But the finish is delightful, even though it does last forever, and it is very dry. But like, it's not like a super dry white wine for me. It's more of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's not a white wine.
No. Yeah. No, it's not. It's got
Danny
too much.
Blenkoff is watching. Hey,
there's too much sweetness in it. Hey, Danny.
Thad, is it salivizing for you?
What's that, Taylor?
Thad, is it after you finish that finish? Do you get the salivizing?
Yeah, and like it's kind of like lemonade or like citric acid salivizing.
For me, it's like the dryness. The dryness is what's causing the salivizing for me. Like that dryness is like my mouth literally feels dry, and it's like my mouth is like gotta throw some moisture in there. Yeah, it's like it's like a sour tart almost. Yeah.
God.
I don't want to put water in this because the more I have it, the more I like it, and it has so many subtle layers. I feel like the water is might bump that to something that I don't like. I don't want to put water in it. That's how I feel. I will if
I just put some water in. I'm
see what Andrew says.
That was an amazing sound.
I think that's my entire review. I think that's it. It's like,
there was a lot of information in that one that one sound. Yeah, it's a lot.
Sounded a little bit like what's his name from The Time, Morris Day.
The nose has some new stuff in it, and the taste. Yeah, I would actually say
I'll try it.
Try some water.
I'm gonna try it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Daniel, for letting me coin salivize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put the water in it. I really liked it, and then I'll acknowledge I liked it so much I poured some more on top. So I did do like a little water sandwich.
It does open up the nose. Like there's definitely like a more of a perfume there, more of like yeah. I feel like I'm hitting more of those. Like there was those delicate notes, and now they're kind of more like laid out for me.
That I think I just smelled the watermelon. That's this one, right?
With the water, I kind of see what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely like this with the water for sure.
Oh,
yeah. Could we do some like grilled watermelon, like with like a wrapped cheese? See, I feel like Joseph, you're going to the whatever house it is. I'm gonna go to like, what am I gonna serve this with? What would be the like dope side to just bring it all out and make me like, yeah, just love the mix of grilled watermelon.
You just blew my mind with grilled watermelon. Like, is that a thing?
Have you never had grilled watermelon?
No. What?
People love to grill all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, grilled watermelon, grilled peaches is dope. Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, I feel like
basically the Maillard reaction improves all food.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean that there's got to be some of that in this. Like there has to be. Like because they toast they toast the barley, right? They roast it, they toast it. Yeah, so that's there's definitely.
So we're getting that.
Yeah, there's some Maillard because they smoke it. They smoke it with the peat. So
yeah, they have to dry it. Yeah.
So that's got to be some Maillard going on up in there.
Ledaig has been impressing me so much. Like the two distilleries that I've gained new respect for are Glen Scotia down in Campbellton and Ledaig. Ledaig's products lately have been just so amazing.
Man, are there any Ledaig whiskeys on over at K&L? Because I really like this.
I think this may still be available. You want me to go to the site right now?
Nah.
No, because all I have to do is type in K in my browser and it goes right there.
We know what you want, Andrew.
Just want to give a shout out to my homie Tay. These are glasses I inherited as he was cleaning out his mom's house and letting go of really pretty crystalware. So recycle, reuse, reduce, friends. Today's message.
Today.
Yes.
Today. There's 3 Ledaigs right now at K&L. There is a 14-year-old, a 21-year-old. This is only a 20-year-old, so it's not this one, and a 10-year-old. But given what Ledaig's been producing, I think
those are all probably a good bet. Good bets.
I mean, the 10-year-old is $50. It's probably pretty good.
And yes, pretty good stories. I believe grilled watermelon also happened that way because somebody just got drunk at a grill and was like, "What can we grill? Just throw it on. Try."
I remember once I was for Thanksgiving, my friend would always deep fry a turkey, and then afterwards we would get drunk a little bit and we would deep fry other stuff. Everything is better deep fried. Yes. Everything. You can take food that's already been deep fried. You could take like McDonald's chicken nuggets and dip them in batter and deep fry them, and they will be better. Like you can deep fry and cheesecake. We deep fried cheesecake. Anything you can deep fry.
In the Midwest, I've heard of deep fried butter, and I think I can't be good. Then
that's a step too far, unless you're a Lannister.
It feels like we're talking about state fair culture and like deep fried Oreos, deep fried
Oreos, yeah.
Twinkies, all the deep friedness. And
we started with Oreos and Twinkies, and then we moved on to like, what else can we deep fry?
What else
You
can
know,
we
Fried donuts. Why not?
yeah,
right? Refry donuts, right?
that's it. They're double deep fried.
Twice
right?
fried. Oh my gosh, twice fried donuts. What is that?
That
Just grilled
Ledaig
watermelon.
was wonderful.
It's
Yes.
so good.
Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and we have our final whiskey of today, just of today. And you know what?
Right.
If you're at home and you think, no, I still need more whiskey, you can keep going. It doesn't
You
have
keep
to
going.
stop with us stopping.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't cry. Oh my God, tipsy asparagus. Dry those tears. Dry those tears. No, stop crying. Shh, shh.
It's okay. Come here, huh? It's okay.
Yes.
Don't
Tina-
cry no
Tina will take care of
more.
you. Yes. Oh.
Okay,
gonna be
yes. 7 times deep fried brie ball. I am about that. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Andrew,
Yeah,
introduce us
brie
to the
is-
last.
Yeah, brie is good. Oh wow, you
Mm.
liked this.
I've had this since 2016. So I've gone through it. I think I'm gonna have to transfer this to a sample
Yeah.
bottle because there's so little left. But this is a
That's
Benrinnes.
gonna
16-year-old.
oxidate in there. Was that the word oxidate?
Yeah, something
Mhm.
like that. Come on, focus. What's going on?
That's a good. No, we see it.
16-year-old
We see it.
Benrinnes. It is 56.3% alcohol, distilled in 2000. And bottled in 2016.
So not quite old enough to drink itself yet.
Good point.
So that was a long lead on a joke. So thanks
Yeah.
all for going there with me. I could see
We're
people do
gonna
the
have
math
to-
like, what? Okay.
We'll have to drink it for itself.
Yes.
But here we go. It's a light color. Oh goodness.
Ooh.
Whoa!
This
What
is
is
a left turn from what we've been having because we've had 3 peated things. This is not peated.
Oh my god, this smells like a Highland, like it's flowery sweet. This smells like I said the last one was a candy store whiskey. That was
No,
like a
this-
rustic candy store on on the edge of town. This is like the fancy like Wonkaverse. Like that's what this is.
I was gonna say Willy Wonka on crack is kind of what it feels like, smells like to me.
Welcome to the Wonkaverse.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, Benrinnes is a Highland. It's
Oh
in
my God.
Aberlour area.
Like this is of all the candy store whiskeys that I have smelled, like this is a fancy, huge. This is like like Harry Potter. You go into that like candy store in Harry Potter sort of place. That's what I think this smells like.
Mhm.
And I think actually last time we had a Benrinnes, I think you had the same experience of that candy store.
Yeah, to me, this is like high end, super fancy. Like there's people in white gloves handing you, slices of bonbons to taste. Like it seems. I gotta taste this.
I'm gonna smell one more time.
Yes, Diageo owns this company, and so they're made to produce this kind of sweet, lovely candy store nectar.
This is my favorite whiskey.
I was trying to pace myself too much, and then I didn't swallow right. So the cop is that,
Do I
not a
need to-
reflection of the.
Do I have to
of the
drive down
actual-
and help you?
Yeah.
Just like Heimlich or something?
No, I just want to clarify.
Okay.
It
It
was
happens.
salivizing,
Yeah.
and I was double salivizing on the return. So
And as we know, you cannot breathe salivizing.
no.
Don't try to breathe it.
Heavy. Although if I was
This
speaking
I
of
love this.
perfect.
This is
Yeah.
I like this. This is my favorite one so far for sure. Yeah. But that's my that's my journey.
Pretty whiskey glasses whiskey.
Oh,
Candy
she's
store whiskey would be for a first-time whiskey taster. And I think Benrinnes would be a great introduction for someone to start into the whiskey experience. Absolutely.
I'm
If
exploring.
that's
this
what you're
brand.
asking, because I can't parse your sentence, Daniel.
Yeah, although it is quite strong. It's 56%, but it also it's very smooth.
Oh, compared to the first whiskey, which was like 46, and that attacked my tongue. This is just like,
Yeah.
everything's
This is
pleasant,
like,
everything's good.
let me put on my dainty boots and traipse down your throat. By the way, my boots are made of spun sugar. A dippity doop doo.
I'm having a different experience, but I love the narration. I wish that were happening in my mouth because I feel like it's crisp time in my mouth. And I feel it's like sweet, sweet, sweet. If I were to-
That is also accurate. There are no wrong answers on
appreciate
on
it.
this show.
Yeah, I want to make a song for it.
Yeah, it could also be a little whiskey cheerleader, like dancing down your mouth, like rah, 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 and then doing a little cartwheel.
Whiskey queen, let me drink all your chemistry. Okay, that's as much as I'm going to say. Yeah, I feel like I can feel the crisp, and I can feel it's open in the back of my mouth.
I want to say this is one of the sweetest whiskeys I've had, but it's like but it is the sweetness is so good. Like it's not saccharine sweet, it's not badly sweet. Like it is like perfectly spun caramel, or like some sort of like it's a really good flavor. It's
balanced with some bitterness too. So it's not the kind of corn sweet you get from a bourbon. It is and I don't know how they find this, because this is a refill hogshead. So it's basically American bourbon barrels that have aged this thing. That's crazy.
It's good. It's
Look
really
how
good.
There is left.
Yeah. You might as well drink that tonight, Andrew. You should drink it tonight. Yeah. You're gonna, yeah.
It's my friend for 4 years.
It'll be part of you forever.
You can save the bottle as memories.
Andrew would have to build another house out of bottles if he saved all of his bottles. Well, that
My
makes him
house right now
sound
is made of gaps.
That makes him sound like he has a problem. He has a lot of whiskey.
I do. My addiction is collection. It's not drinking. If I was drinking, I would be dead. I have so much whiskey in my house. It's a collection problem that I have.
But I wonder if you took your empty bottles and you got a glass cutter and you could cut them, and then you could put like succulents or something in them, so you could still experience the bottle, but it could have a function beyond. And then you could have like your aloe plant that is how do you say the name of this whiskey? Is it Benrinnes?
Benrinnes.
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 Yes, Benrinnes.
Buy a bigger house, yeah, in Los Angeles. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Buy a house in Los Angeles. I feel like that's.
I put a little water in. I jumped to step 2.
Oh, let's hear what you have to say, because I don't know that I want to put water in this.
Nose wise, I feel like it's not as crisp. It feels a little bit more muted in a way that, in my experience, is a little bit more welcoming. Although, let me for the record say, sugar and me are friends. Maybe a little too much. So I like it. Oh, I'm not mad. I'm not mad the way that the water like combined in the whole thing. It took a little bit of the like a needle prick of it. Like there was a part of me that felt like the sweetness was crisp and there was a little bit of a needle prick. So I feel like the water is just helping to allow me to explore it in a way as it salivizes.
I think we're gonna, based on your feedback, we're gonna have to try this.
I've only got this much left, but I'm gonna try water in it.
I'm gonna try it.
I feel like the nose just really. I'm curious what you asked me now.
Ooh, yeah, no, it's definitely like a gentler nose.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a bit more perfumey, but not in a bad way. Like I feel like perfumey is like has negative connotations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm salivizing on this. Actually, with water, yes.
Yeah.
The taste is really nice.
And I appreciate that from the same bottle, you get two really kind of distinct almost experiences so that you can decide the adventure, like you name your own flavor adventure.
Just with a single drop of water, how much it can change too. And so when people throw ice cubes in or like will splash in water to reduce it down to 15%, it's like, slow down. Start with just a drop. One drop can really alter it. And you can decide if it's good or bad in your taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like it both ways. I feel like it's almost two different whiskeys to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like both, with and without water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I would put water notation next to it, but I don't think this bottle is going to survive the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's one more pour. It's just sad.
Well, I will raise my glass to your one final pour. That bottle did you good service.
To the dead soldier.
To the dead soldier.
To the dead soldier.
Much love.
These independent bottlers are often single barrel things. So this is a specific cask, 306732. So these are single cask things, and it's one of the things that I love about collecting whiskeys is you get these single cask expressions, which are it's a natural product. You get different kinds of wood. The casks come out different, and amazing things can happen in a cask, or horrible things can happen in a cask. They say that sometimes they open a cask and they taste it, and it's just like newspaper. It's like wet newspaper, and they go, "This cask did not go right." And I think they just have to like toss that cask or blend it deep into a blended whiskey or something to hide that flavor. It's something that can happen. And then sometimes things magical happen in the single casks, and it's a horror show because there's so many single cask bottlings that come out, and there's only 250 bottles in the world, and you have to take a chance on like, oh, I'm going to get that. I mean, they know what they're doing. I'm going off on this weird, wild tangent, which is why I'm a collector. It's like I have all these single cask expressions that are just kind of like, oh, I have to try that. Oh, I have to get that. Wait, what if that's good and I didn't get one because there's only 200 in the world? So
we should say like next week's show is going to be some really rare stuff. So if you're going to watch a show, you should definitely check it out next week.
Oh my gosh, next week, Kolya Erman, who is a friend of mine from work and one of the most knowledgeable whiskey people I know, goes on to these sites and bids for whiskeys, and he is going to share 4 samples of bottles from his extremely rare collection, the stuff that he loves the most. He's going to share this with us, and we're going to try those things. So next week, yes, please tune in next week. Tell your whiskey-loving friends to tune in next week. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this is like stuff that most people wouldn't have access to.
I wouldn't have access to because I don't go,
including Andrew, because he doesn't work hard enough for the whiskey.
That feels like a song from Donna Summer. He works hard
for the whiskey.
Okay, I just said I wasn't going to sing anymore, but I am.
So hard for the whiskey.
No, I never heard you say you weren't going to sing anymore. And
I tried after I did the ABBA song. Thank you to who was it? Tiny Asparagus? Thank you, Daniel Blinkoff.
You don't have to apologize for singing, and you can sing as much as you want.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say, I love this last one so much. I did a little bit more in my glass, and I did open it up with the water. I think this works with the water. Is my favorite right now. I mean, I did enjoy. What an experience. And I would say this is probably the House Stark of the crew, even though it is not labeled as such, because it deals with the ice. It deals with the water. It's going to take it. Little Jon Snow is going to make it happen. I feel like that. Whereas the Ledaig.
Ledaig.
Thank you, Ledaig.
Ledaig, the Gaelic.
Was that the sweet one where we were saying grilled watermelon? That feels a little Targaryen, a little pokey.
Yeah.
I mean, the sugar is not fire, but I'll do that.
It's interesting because the last 2 were 2 different kinds of sweetness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the Ledaig was like, oh, this is sweet, and then this one, the Benrinnes. Yeah, was like, whoa, okay.
Where the doors open, and it was like,
yeah,
you want to talk sweet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're both so rich.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is about whiskey.
Sorry, Dela.
All good.
I forgot to tell you, and this is very important. I fucking love whiskey.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, are we revealing secrets?
I shouldn't have kept this to myself.
No, I want to say something right now. If that's what we're doing, if we're being completely honest, I want to say that I fucking love whiskey.
Interesting.
Wow.
Dela, I know that you just met us tonight, and we've been through a lot together. And after tasting all of these things, I was just wondering, I mean, do you like whiskey?
I have to say, after tasting all this, I fucking love whiskey. There you go. So I did the singing, and this is actually my favorite way to play, because usually at a bar, it's just like, you're gonna drink with your friends or by yourself, but you're not gonna get to evaluate the notes, the nose, and just thank you for helping me, allowing me space to introduce salivizing, because it really allows me an expression that I didn't know existed, that was deep down inside at the whiskey library in Tokyo, or at the Southern Grace distilleries, or even at my favorite whiskey bar in Little Tokyo, which is Bar Bar. So I just appreciate this opportunity to say I love whiskey. Thank you.
I want you to keep singing. That's all I want, really.
I guess
Anytime.
I fucking love whiskey.
The next show on this channel is at 9 p.m. So you can just like sing your heart out for like an hour.
Yeah,
or,
part of
or
me.
an hour of singing.
Or we should have you back and you should just sing the whole time.
Oh my gosh, if you want to invite me back, and then I could potentially sneak sips of the whiskey before we try on air, and I could see if I could write a little jingle for every whiskey. Like if I were to jingle for House Greyjoy.
House Greyjoy.
I don't know, like see, and then I've been in the whiskey, so all kinds of things could happen right now, and I appreciate how many people are watching. 18, yay 18. So yeah, I feel like I would want to help write some jingles for these whiskeys, and yeah, I appreciated coming on today, and you've introduced me to I think one of my favorite new whiskeys right now, the Benrinnes with the water.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Like the bagels, like the pizza dough, the water makes a difference.
It does. It is
Doing
true.
it.
That accent
Oh, wow.
didn't go anywhere, but celebrating the end of that bottle. All right, I'm gonna drink to that.
All right, I'll do that too.
All right. Oh, right. Tech Robot's asking, do you need an intro song? Can I write you the I fucking love whiskey intro song? Do you have
Kayla,
that?
if you want to write something and
Yeah.
record it, I would love an intro.
Oh my gosh. That sounds super fun. I'm open to lyric suggestions in the chat right now. Anybody want to throw in why you love whiskey? What lyrics we need to sing, knowing it should be like what do you need? Like a 15-second open? So
just a hot sting off the top. It like
off the
4
top.
lines. That's all we need.
Or it could be different genres, like I, F to the U to the C to the K to the I to the N to the G. I fucking love the whiskey. All right, I know I'm completely.
Oh no, I can just take that and make it work. I can make that work.
Wait, I'm sorry. You have to repeat that because I just pulled my headphones plug out.
We do fucking love whiskey.
Yes.
No. Tech Bobot.
Tech Bobot.
We don't love whiskey. I don't love whiskey. I fucking love whiskey.
Wait a minute.
What?
Do you fucking love whiskey?
A little bit.
Okay.
I feel like the part of me from Carson wants to be like, I'm gonna fucking love whiskey.
Yeah.
It is known.
Yeah.
It is known.
It is known. That is the way.
That is the way.
Our tradition is we have a moment of silence for a dead soldier. So this is a dead soldier. It's done. It's over with. There it was. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Kayla, it was a delight to meet you and to talk about whiskey together and taste with you and meet you. And I fucking love whiskey.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, letting me come on and enjoy this process. And I fucking love whiskey too. And I'm down to figure out this theme song. Maybe we'll include salivizing. I don't know.
I mean, I want a T-shirt that now says salivizing. I want that. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And when I
do feel like the word salivizing should be part of the theme song.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
And I feel like Outpost 13 should put that on their merch page, right? Salivizing. I fucking love whiskey.
Outpost 13, do you have a merch page?
They do.
I don't think they do yet. Do they? Do they?
They do. You can go and you can buy. I saw it today.
What?
Oh, wow.
I was there. There's a merch link.
Things
right?
move
Outpost
so fast.
13. Are you guys still here? But I just want to say thanks. This was so much fun. Love to all the fam and friends in the chat. So great to see you all. And I fucking love whiskey. I don't always know how to talk about it. So this was super fun for me. Thanks so much.
Our mutual friend Paul Hungerford, the Paul Hungerford, basically came to me and said that Dela had watched one episode of our show and just looked him in the face and said, "I fucking love whiskey," and we were like, "No, Dela has to be on the show."
That's like those are the code words right there.
Yes. Sing the code words. Okay. So yeah, now I'm thinking about all the songs that we could write for Ooh, do you need? Oh yeah, there's all kinds of things you could do, like the in between each different flavor or each different whiskey that you're trying. Whiskey number 1, like I feel like, whiskey number 2.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Don't forget to add the water. Okay, totally. So I'm already there. So I appreciate this this moment brought to all of us by all 4 of these amazing whiskeys. That the random. What is that? What is that again?
Random.org. Your source for random numbers that are truly random, not pseudo-random like most computer programs. Truly random numbers. Random.org. You got random? We got random.
I love that we have commercials on the show, but we're not sponsored by anyone. But we'll do commercials in advance to hope you sponsor us. We should be doing commercials for whiskey. I guess the whole show is a commercial for whiskey, so we don't really need to do a commercial.
And I do feel like I want to say, make sure you drink responsibly, friends. If you're going from
absolutely.
wherever you are to wherever you're going, like you are precious, you are important, just like that
absolutely.
whiskey you drink. Don't forget to ask for help so you can get safely where you need to go.
Right. And you know what? Hopefully people are just at home and can stay there. We have had half ounce of each of these things. So that's like 2 ounces. That's like 1 shot in a bar, one glass in a bar. So we're trying to be very safe and be sensible about how much we consume. And we're really trying to experience the flavors of all these different whiskeys. Mm-hmm. The fact that we get tipsy and dinkly and love the whiskeys, that's a side effect. You know what? We have until 9 o'clock, so I'm not even in any rush to get off.
I feel like we could source the I fucking love whiskey song right now. I just actually did a songwriting workshop actually in a different part of my life. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting the whole Joseph, like, so do you imagine different like houses for the different when you drink the different whisky? Because I heard like bakery was the last one I got for House Lannister.
Yeah, I mean, I build a house in the whiskey. That's kind of my metaphorical space that, for each one. Mm-hmm. I just kind of, create a space. I don't know. But yeah, it's it's a metaphor. What's a metaphor? Raising cattle.
Wait, so if you were to build the house for the Benrinnes, what would you build? This last one that we just did.
That one, like I said, this would be like a fancy upscale candy store. Like I see a lot of white. I see like Willy Wonka, but like the front part of Willy Wonka, like all of the Oompa Loompas and stuff are in the, all the crazy stuff is going on in the back. But you come in and it's like white, and there's shelves and shelves of candy, and there's like people in white gloves, and they're like, here, taste this and taste this, and they're giving you like tiny samples, and each sample is super delicious. That's kind of what I imagine for the Benrinnes. Yeah.
So we build a house of whiskey. We build a house based on the flavor of whiskey, and then I love it. And then we do science. I feel like that's definitely a part of this whole process. And then I feel like I need to include something where we acknowledge Thad, because Thad, your analysis today was super insightful and helpful. You gave us the grilled watermelon jump.
We didn't ask that about the Benrinnes, though.
Oh, does Thad have the Benrinnes?
I do.
Well, he does.
Ben, what did you think about the Benrinnes, Thad?
Honestly, not as good as the Ledaig for me. But hear me out. I am a peat head. I love the peated whiskeys. My whiskey collection is almost certainly 75% peat. So I'm just biased right up front, right there. Like, I'm sorry. But okay. I'm right there with you. For me on the nose, it was not really like candy. It was more of like a pear to me, like a fresh pear that you just took a bite out of. And it's just, for me, that's what the Benrinnes was for. And unfortunately, like I said, my tongue shot, nothing really there for me. So
okay,
that's all I can give you is the nose.
I'm so sad for you.
I appreciate the nose. The nose. What is that from? Is that from
the nose?
Nobody knows what the nose knows. Only the nose knows.
Yeah, I feel like the nose might be a Bugsy Siegel, Dick Tracy reference.
Yeah, I feel like it's Dick Tracy character, Dick Tracy, right? Yeah. Like a villain or something, right?
Right. And then LT,
this is my favorite whiskey.
Yes. LT Bodie Cooper, I would say, Here is the song for science.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
This is
Me and
gonna-
parodies are friends. Me and parodies, like, yeah. Give me an existing melody and I can write you a parody. Like,
I feel like this show is going to turn into like a radio shock jock sort of a show, but I'm totally okay with it. If every time we do something like, and now it's time for that song and this video, you know, I'm on board.
that's fine.
As long as Dela does all the music. Yeah.
Yes.
thank you. Yes, I feel inspired by tonight's session. And the Ledaig, did we decide which house it was? I offered that the Benrinnes was a little bit of House Stark, but I tried to go there a little bit with Targaryen, but I don't feel like that's right. Just to finish out the Game of Thrones-ness.
Well, they do have like, don't they have one for each of the houses? Like,
They do. Oh,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
it is.
This has got a little bit of cask floating around in it.
Oh yeah, look at that little floater
Ooh,
zooming around in there.
okay. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
These
they
are all
have
good.
one for every house. They even have one for the White Walkers, which is the Johnny Walker thing. So I think Johnny Walker just had a bunch of crap whiskey they put into the White Walker, and they said, like, you have to serve this cold because when you actually freeze the bottle, you put it in the fridge or the freezer, it comes out, says winter is coming. That lettering comes out on the bottling. But to me, if you are freezing your drink to be able to drink it, you are killing the flavor.
Is that more vodka action when you like freeze the alcohol?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that a vodka behavior?
Yeah, because I mean,
I'm
vodka
curious
is
in the
like,
chat.
to me, I feel like that's a mixed drink, right? Like, no, like, who drinks vodka? Like, ooh, vodka straight, like,
Russians.
because of the
Russians.
flavor. Yeah, but are they drinking it because they like the flavor?
No,
Some of
a friend of mine who has a Russian wife told me the way you drink vodka in Russia is that you have black bread, really dark black bread next to you, and you have the vodka, and you take a shot of the vodka, and you don't actually bite the bread, you just like smell the bread after you take a shot. So if you're with some Russians and they give that scenario, and you take a shot of the vodka and you just smell the bread, they'll all be going like,
So it's like a bread mask.
yeah, just like
It's
That's
it's
what I
the
can wear in
ultimate-
the pandemic is a black bread bed mask. Oh my!
just a piece of a hollowed out core of a
Oh,
I wonder what percentage of like, you know, protection that would give you. Like, it's like,
Right.
you know, like cotton, silk, you know, the P95, and then it's bread is like 30%, but still
Yeah.
it's better than nothing. If you
yeah,
put a piece
50%
of bread.
porous. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and actually
Yeah.
that makes me just think about like the whole food thing. So I think with the Benrinnes, I don't know what I would serve yet. It's so delightful. I mean, I was in the appetizer zone. I feel like I'd want to go with some kind of skewer, maybe. Like this would be like maybe the protein of that whole array. I feel like
The Tipsy Asparagus mentions that they have flavored vodka, but that's my point. Is like you don't have well, you have some flavored whiskey, but the reason you have flavored vodka is it has no frickin' flavor, right? I mean, it's
been
like
distilled till it's just like alcohol. Yeah.
yeah. The other thing is like vodka is made from potatoes, and if you're smelling bread, I feel like it's the ultimate starchy drink, right?
it's like starchifying. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not popular in Los Angeles.
Yeah, vodka. Well, I do know some friends who are big vodka heads. This inspires me to ask them what that practice is about and how that is. I will say I had a friend who told me, Filipino American friend, who's like, oh, I've had to stop drinking vodka because it's, you know, it's made from potatoes. He's like, I'm going with things from my genetic code. So I'm going to go with sugarcane, like a rum. He says, I don't get as many hangovers because I'm staying in my genetic lane. And I was like, that's really interesting. And for a long time, I was in the rum family. And then I would say, like, you know, I'm in my mid 40s now. And early in my 40s, I was like, no, whiskey's my jam right now. And I know I have folks who are Irish and Scottish in my mixed family and in my mom's family. So I think it's from that. But I think it's really interesting to think about, like, and I guess that's a question for folks in the chat is like, are you more drawn to things that are genetically distilled in the part of the world where your ancestors are from? Or is it an acquired taste from you know, where you are now, where your family has been for generations?
I mean, I have a lot of Scottish and English ancestry, and
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
wondering if that's why I'm so drawn to whiskey. But I mean, whiskey has just got such a diversity of flavors for me. It is a surprise every single time I do this. So I'm just not sure. Like every other alcohol I've had has been like in this lane, and the whiskey is suddenly like, boom, what? No, a liquid can taste like this. Wait, a liquid can taste like that. And we had heavily peated and we had this sweet stuff, like all in the same whiskey family. And all they do is how they cool it, how they roast barley, just blah, blah, blah.
I feel like that it's not the type of alcohol that I drink. It's more like what I eat with it that will affect the hangover, or when I drink it, and like, how much water I drink. Like a lot of it is dehydration, or if I have like sweets and alcohol, then I'm guaranteed to have a hangover like that, and a bad one. So, that to me is more of an indication. I think it has something to do with blood sugar. I don't know.
I have to say, as you were talking, Joseph, I realized what I want with this Benrinnes is I want some carne asada fries, and it's like so out of left field in a way, but I feel like with the water, which is my favorite way to go. I don't forget, the words are leaving me right now because of the time and how much alcohol we've had, but yeah, and I don't know if it's also just me like right now being like, dude, carne asada fries would be dope.
Once again, Dela, like everything you say, like you could ask me at any point, do you want some carne asada fries? I'd be like, yeah, let's have. It's like I don't know if the whiskey is a factor.
Joseph, wake up! It's 3 a.m.
You're just listing
carne asada fries.
Yes, I do. You're just listing delicious foods. Like I don't.
True. And I am certainly a connoisseur, and I deeply value delicious foods. So I'm glad that that's translating.
I think I forgot to mention this earlier. I fucking love whiskey. Also, Thad may actually have to go and do something tonight, so we should probably end the episode. We're running overtime.
Yes, I appreciate the flex. Thank you for letting me partake in the I fucking love whiskey. I fucking love whiskey too. I'm gonna explore this theme song opportunity. I might lay out a little bit of parodies. And yeah, somebody's carne asada fries are in Tech Bobot's DNA. And, praise your DNA. I just deeply appreciate human invention in food and our desire to figure out if we, ferment things, what happens, if we flame things, what happens, if we store things, what happens, if we bake things, what happens, if we grill things, what happens.
If we dry things and then malt them and distill them, what happens?
Goodness. And my last thing is thank you. I fucking love whiskey. This was so fucking dope. Thank you.
We fucking love you, Dela.
We love you too. Thank you, Dela. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, everyone out there in the land of Twitch. Subscribe to the channel. Awesome things happening. I just want to put a shout out to Tales by Fire tonight, a single person RPG. It's fantastic. 9:00. Stick around. And then come back next week because there's great stuff. Love you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.